Hey guys, welcome back to Release the Craftin. Priscilla here for day 10 of hashtag Poevember 24. Can you believe it that we are up to 10 days already? That's crazy. It's also going by super quick. So for the last day of our Haunted Palace poem section, we have the prompt for day 10, which is gems. And I wanted to revisit something that I had done for Art Witch August, which was paper piecing crystals. I thought it would be fun to sort of revisit that idea. And so I decided to also approach this in the same way that I would approach like an art tile, by making it sort of sturdier and out of chipboard. That's really the only part of this, is it really is like qualified to be an art tile, but it works. It does the job. So I just used a die to cut out some shapes, and surprisingly this larger die was not able to cut through the chipboard, which I thought was really interesting because I had that tiny little coffin die that like mastered chipboard like no problem, but this larger one was like, this is too thick for me. But it worked because I still got the shape in there, so I was able to just sort of cut along the lines and release it from the chipboard. It did cut mostly through, so like I'm not shit talking the die whatsoever. I was just an interesting observation here. So I actually like spent a lot of time trying to like figure out what colors I wanted these gems to be, and then ended up settling on old silver and a white gold, and then regretted that choice because later on I remembered that I had that red wax and I could have just had like red ruby gems, but I didn't do that. I ended up going back and adding it as a frame later, but I was like, you could have just made these entirely red, and you didn't because you're silly. But I still like the gold and silver because I wanted to keep them pretty muted, because I'm using pages from the Perish After Dark kit from my Etsy store, which is like, the conceit of that kit isn't just that it's a gothic kit, but it's also like mostly neutral. It's all black and white, and there's like some neutral like parchment color in it, but everything else is black and white or shades of gray. So I wanted to keep the crystals, the gems themselves, also a neutral color, which is why I ended up choosing the silver and gold, because gold is a neutral color to me, especially this white gold, because it's not yellow. But at any rate, I ended up using those to be the color of my gems. And what I'm going to do is just sort of trace out a geometric shape. I'm not actually trying to get like a perfect crystalline looking structure here, so much as I just want it to look geometric, like it's a faceted gemstone. And I'm just going to use a ruler to very quickly sketch these out. Like I said, I'm not trying to make this perfect by any means, so I wasn't even super worried about like making sure that the lines were all centered or equally spaced or anything like that, because I'm going to put a gap in between all of these pieces, and you're going to see that. It'll make more sense when you see it in action. But like, because I'm going to put a gap in between these pieces, they don't really have to be perfect in the way that they are like designed out. So if you're a little bit intimidated by the idea of drawing like a very geometric, precise shape, don't be. You could absolutely do this. It's very, very simple and straightforward. And then just to make this look a little bit more finished, I decided to go around the edges with a black marker, just to sort of like cap off those white edges of the paper, so that it looks like a more purposeful, intentional art piece, and not just like I cut a bunch of pieces of paper and threw them on a thing, which I did. This is exactly what I did, but it looks more like I did it all on purpose, very deliberately, and that's sort of the goal. And so once I have everything like cut out, what I'm going to do is start out with the piece that is in the center. That's how, like, the best way that I can say to approach this is to start with the piece that you know is going to be dead center, or at least as close to center as possible, and then just work from there. And I'm just leaving like the tiniest of a gap. I don't even want to say like a 1/16 maybe of an inch, somewhere between an 1/8 and a 1/16 of an inch in between the pieces, and then I'm just popping them all down in order. This other one I did off camera accidentally. I thought I was recording, but I was not. So you missed that one, but saw me put together the first one. And we just had to like put this in a different order for the video for recording purposes. It doesn't really matter. But at any rate, you can see how I finished it. So that's how we did that. And then we're just going to trim off the extra pieces. So this is super easy and super straightforward. And honestly, you could make a bunch of these very quickly. because you don't have to be super precise or anything like we did when we were making the paper piece crystals. Those had to be really precise and exact. This doesn't actually have to be super precise and exact because I'm not trying to make the pieces fit back together. I'm actually doing the opposite. I'm putting them apart from each other. So after I get everything glued down and I'm happy with all the spacing there, I'm just going to go around, edge them up really nicely with some black archival ink so that they have a nice little dark gothic-y edge. And then because I remembered at this point that I had red wax, I came back through to add that little touch of red because, like I said, I've been using red as an accent color, so there we are. And yeah, they're super cool. I thought about going back over the top of them with glossy accents, but then I was like, why would you use the entirety of your glossy accents bottle to do this? So it's not necessary, but you absolutely could. I think I might come back and finish them off with a clear gloss varnish. I have a spray varnish. I think I only have matte right now, but I'll probably pick up a gloss one and dust them off so that they'll be shiny. But otherwise, that's also not a requirement. You do not have to do that. You can leave them matte. It's totally fine. But then I also decided that they needed to have a little sentiment, so I shrunk down some of my Halloween snippets, and I'm just backing them with some of that crinkly music paper I have left. At least I think it's the crinkly music paper. It could be from the music paper book. Either way, it's old crinkly paper, and it has little sentiments that I think are very, very Poe-esque. They're Poe adjacent, so I think that they work. And yeah, that's everything, you guys. That is the entire make for today. Hope that you enjoyed this. Don't forget to check out the hashtag Poevember24 to see what not just myself but everybody else is making. And don't forget, I will have a playlist for you guys to follow along for everyone who's posting videos here on YouTube. You can check that out as well if you don't want to go hunt everyone down. I'll do the hunting for you. That's gonna be it for me, guys. I appreciate your faces, and I will catch you all in the next one. Happy crafting, guys. Bye.